Hello everyone. Amidst the peaceful scenery of the mountains and forests, Nhat once again made people admire her perseverance and determination. Without waiting for anyone to help, she quietly cut each bamboo tree herself, dragging each heavy bundle home, her small hands full of determination. Drops of sweat rolled down her cheeks, but Nhat's eyes still shone with joy as she gradually completed the rustic bathroom, a gift she gave herself. Everything seemed too much for a girl, but Nhat still quietly overcame it, leaving viewers moved and admiring. But in the midst of her busyness, a big question made everyone curious. Where was Alex, the person who always accompanied Nhat at that time? Let's watch until the last moment. Early in the morning, the forest was still covered in a thin layer of mist. Nhat stepped onto the familiar trail, holding a shiny machete in her hand. The sound of dry leaves cracking under her heels mixed with the calls of birds echoing throughout the forest canopy. She went to find old, tall, straight bamboo bushes, a simple material but durable enough to build a simple bathroom. Each step was a calculation. Which bamboo was neat, which bamboo was easy to cut, which bamboo fit the wall frame. When the blade touched the bamboo, the clack sound rang out like a drum beat, signaling the start of a big job. She wiped her sweat, smiled, and tied each bundle of bamboo together with a rattan string. She found herself, sunlight filtered through the foliage, shining on her face, sparkling with joy. Returning after a tiring morning, Nhat carried bundles of bamboo still smelling of the forest on her shoulders. She put them down on the porch and quickly walked into the house when she heard Henry's soft cry. The baby raised his small arms, asking for his mother, his eyes filled with tears and clarity. Nhat quickly hugged him, lifted his shirt to feed Henry. In that moment, her face softened, her eyes filled with love, as if she had forgotten all the hardships. When Henry was full and fell asleep peacefully, she gently placed him in the creaking bamboo cradle, pulled the thin blanket across her chest. Then, as if afraid of wasting time, Nhat quickly returned to the bundles of bamboo on the porch. Her hands quickly separated each tree, measured and cut according to the size she had thought of in her head. Each sound of the knife hitting the bamboo resounded decisively, blending with Henry's gentle breathing in the house, creating a simple but warm melody. The melody of a mother taking care of her child and nurturing her own small dream. The midday sunlight spread across the small yard, covering the bundles of shimmering green bamboo that still smelled of the forest. Nhat crouched down, her skillful but calloused hands starting to arrange each bamboo to build the bathroom frame. Sweat rolled down her cheeks, soaking into her faded shirt, but she seemed unconcerned with fatigue. Every time the knife blade touched the bamboo, a dry, crisp sound rang out, mingling with the rapid heartbeat in her chest. Between the decisive cuts, a thought suddenly rushed back, making her heart ache. If only Alex were by her side right now. His image appeared clearly in her imagination, a tall figure, strong hands supporting each bamboo, a bright smile that overshadowed the blazing sun. She thought she could hear Alex's voice teasing and encouraging. Then together they toiled to build the frame, turning the hard work into simple joy. That thought made Nhat's lips curve into a fleeting smile, but immediately after that was a feeling of emptiness and disappointment. In reality, she was still alone, in the middle of a small, quiet yard, with the rustling of the wind and the occasional sound of Henry turning over in the cradle. She wondered, where is Alex? Does he ever think of her, of this small house, or has he let the memories drift away with the busy flow of life? The question had no answer, only leaving a lingering scratch in her heart. Nhat knew she had no right to blame, but still could not avoid being weak. Missing was both a driving force and a burden on her thin shoulders. A gust of wind blew by, causing the hem of her dress to flutter, spreading the scent of freshly cut bamboo in the air. Nhat stopped, looked up at the blue sky above, her eyes shining with a quiet light. She quickly wiped away the tears that had just fallen, then bent down again, continued to tighten the rattan rope, tying each bamboo stick to the frame. Deep down, she believed that whether Alex was present or not, this bathroom would still take shape. It was not only a place to stay for private moments, but also a testament to the strength of a woman who was a mother, a worker, and a keeper of the hearth for the family. And perhaps, somewhere, if Alex were still watching, he would see Tana's figure today, small but persistent, lonely but proud, quietly turning her longing into strength to keep going. Suddenly, Henry woke up. His baby cry echoed, making Tana's heart soften. She hugged her child to her chest, feeling the small warmth pressed against her heart. In that moment, she felt both love and worry. Love because the child was so innocent, only knowing how to nestle in her mother's arms, and worry because the future of mother and child was still so uncertain. Looking at her child sleeping soundly again, Tana clearly felt the heavy responsibility on her shoulders, but at the same time, an invisible source of strength also surged. She thought about her life, how many times she had been disappointed, how many times she had waited for a hand to reach out and help. But at this moment, she only had herself. Alex was not here, and perhaps would never know the drops of sweat she had soaked into every inch of the ground. That thought made Tana's eyes sting, but it also urged her to be stronger, because she understood, if she gave up, Henry would lose his only support. In Tana's heart, a silent but persistent sadness arose. Sometimes, she longed for a word of encouragement, a look of sympathy, but when there was no one, she told herself, "You have to try harder." She saw in that loneliness a strange light, the light of determination. While Tana was busy juggling between her child and the unfinished bamboo roofing, Alex sat with his friends in a brightly lit corner of the city. The sound of laughter and chatter, the clinking of beer glasses, and the fragrant smell of food filled the room. Alex leaned back in his chair, smiling comfortably, as if all the burdens had fallen off his shoulders. Next to him, Mai, his ex-lover, suddenly appeared. Mai still retained her gentleness from before, her eyes sparkling when talking to him. In that moment, the distance between the past and the present seemed to be erased. They talked and laughed naturally. Occasionally their eyes met, recalling memories that had never faded. The friends around were carefree, not knowing that out there was still a girl quietly struggling with loneliness and heavy responsibilities. Alex was immersed in the hustle and bustle, but somewhere in his eyes, there was still a hint of loneliness, as if between the alcohol and laughter, there was something missing that he did not want to name. Late afternoon, the sunset died, the small yard golden Tana stood silently in front of the newly completed bathroom frame. The bamboo sticks were arranged neatly and firmly under her persistent hands. Sweat soaked her shirt. Her hands were red, but Tana's eyes shone with a quiet pride. Finally, she had done it. Henry was sleeping peacefully in the cradle, breathing evenly, his cheeks rosy in the gentle breeze. In that quiet moment, she only wished she had a shoulder to lean on, to share the results she had just built. The sound of footsteps echoed at the gate, making Tana's heart tighten slightly. Alex appeared in the twilight, looking a little confused. He was stunned when he saw the completed bamboo bathroom, standing there neatly as an undeniable testament to Tana's determination. His eyes swept over her calloused hands, her sunburnt but still radiant face. His heart filled with shame, he approached, his voice low. "Tana, I'm sorry. I let you do everything alone." The words were short but heavy, as if he had just admitted all his shortcomings. Tana did not blame him, just looked at him gently. Her eyes filled with sadness mixed with many unsaid things. She smiled faintly. "I'm used to it, but this time, I hope you will stay." Henry stirred, his round eyes seeing his father. Alex bent down, holding her son in her arms, her eyes gradually shining with warmth. That scene made Tana feel calmer. That bathroom, even though she had built it with her own hands, Alex's return made it a testament to their reunion, that all efforts were not in vain. When darkness fell, the two of them went to the pond. Tana carried a basin of food. Alex stood beside her, and together they sprinkled it on the water. The fish swam to them, their silver scales reflecting the moonlight. The sound of fish splashing mixed with Henry's gentle laughter, Tana's sigh of relief, and Alex's earnest gaze. In the starry sky, that simple happiness was like a thread connecting what had been broken. And this time, Alex gently held Tana's hand and whispered, "I will never leave you alone again."